Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Tarot by Cecelia on Patreon. This is your monthly tarot guidance for the month of October 2016. Yes, it's finally October. Let's talk about this. I put these cards down for you, and I was like, well, what has Cancer got going on? It's a really mixed bag here, my friends. But let's see. On the 6th, Mercury leaves shadow. Hooray! Yeah, right? It's about time. This gives you the all clear, especially with, technology, phones, cars, appliances, anything that you may need to go purchase now since the retrograde. Okay. On the 7th, Mercury enters Libra. And now it's really, you're going to see where it's picking up speed. All right. It just starts zipping through the signs until the next retrograde comes along. On the 16th, there's a full moon in Aries. And on the 18th, Venus will enter Sagittarius. Now, I'm kind of thinking that you're really going to like the, last 10 days or so of the month because the energy begins to shift to Scorpio. All right? Water sign like you. I think you're going to like it. All right? So on the 22nd, the sun will shift to Scorpio. On the 24th, Mercury, like I said, it's moving quick now. Mercury heads into Scorpio as well. To me, Mercury and Scorpio, it's all about communication anyway. I think there is a lot of truth that's revealed in this time. Secrets, maybe, not necessarily, but just that digging deep to find out what the truth of a matter really is. So I think it's going to be a good thing because I think there's also in here, especially for you Cancers, it's a time to be truthful with yourself. And then on the 30th, we have our new moon in Scorpio. I'm thinking that's going to be an intense one. But let's hope it's intense in a good way, my friends. Now, one of the other things that I wanted to mention, especially now that all of this retrograde action is out of the way, Mercury's direct, Pluto's direct, Saturn's direct, you know what I'm saying? The prograde column has more signs in it than the retrograde column. And for you, you should be starting to see now, or at least be thinking, all right, Jupiter in Libra, you know where it's at this year until October of 2017? It is in your house of home, your 4th house. This is the most perfect place for you that I can think of. I actually feel like Jupiter this year is everywhere it needs to be, like right at the proper moment. Because I think for the longest time, if there was anything, you may love your home and everything that's in it. But for some of you, I think that you've needed a new home or, some changes in the home. But this year offers you the opportunity to do the things that you want to do. Maybe you're living in a home and you're renting and you would like to buy it. You might love where you are. So there's a lot of things that are happening here. But Jupiter will bring in the people that you need to meet over the coming year. It's all about relationships. So the relationship dynamic is going to change, and it's going to change within your home, around your home, and about your home. Big year for you because your home is your place. It is most definitely your space. Now, the cards. This is really unusual. There is positivity here, but at the same time, I feel like some things happen and you have a new beginning in at least one area of your life. But what in the world is going on? It's almost as though you were resistant to the change. You? No. Ever? Oh, absolutely. That so many Cancers that I know, especially the males more so than the females, they have a tendency to do that little sideways Cancer thing, little crab going sideways. And you need to go forward now. Don't look back at what happened. Just pick it all up. Get ready to move forward. as the month begins, you're right on the heels of the powerful new moon that was in Libra on September the 30th. And it just feels as though, the new moon wants to bring you a beginning. And I want to say it's like you're trying to shake something off. That's the best word I can use for it. Like if there was a situation that just had you trapped for so long and it was stressful, it weighed you down, it was too much responsibility. And not that you didn't want to be responsible, because I think Cancers are very responsible individuals, but it was just like, come on now, I need to be free of this. All right? It happens. That's good. It happens. But here's the thing. That's why I said this is a mixed bag when I look at this. It's like, enjoy the freedom from the situation. Don't think that there needs to be a story that goes with it. There's no need to cast blame anywhere. Okay? If you really truly look at everything that has happened and you understand cause and effect, you'll realize that somewhere along the way you also played a part in everything that has taken place. Okay? So I think it's like lesson learned, time to break free and move along. Okay? So the struggles of the past, I think you can start putting some of them behind you and closing the door. But that refusal to budge, it's time. Open the door. There is a renewal. Like when I see, starting at the new moon, there's something happening. And that may be what you're resisting. For some of you, it may be an actual relationship with a person that you need to, I don't want to use the words treat better, but it's a relationship which needs to be renewed, because this other person has unconditional love that's for you. All right. And it's just time. Well, for whatever reason, you've, held on too tightly to the past and not allowed this to happen. I just don't understand. Okay. But there is, and also like that for some of you, like where this is around the home as well. Okay. What to do about certain situations. Are you living with someone? Maybe you want to start talking about marriage. It's possible. Okay. Things are happening. But see, there is this need to be really grounded right now. And not to be so, I want to say, fearful. That making a mountain out of a molehill thing. Face those fears and realize that they're just like shadows. Things that go bump in the night, whatever. Because in your, I want to say, quest for change that you've been resisting, you've become too accustomed to things cropping up that go wrong. Like maybe you just like to have a week or a month where it feels like everything is going right. But I think it's, and I'm seeing it a lot right now for people, where that self-doubt is creeping in. Like, can it be? I mean, the first 9 months of the year were rough. And, can things finally be wanting to go right? I did this, I pulled it off, I freed myself from the situation. But you still feel like you need to defend yourself against those hard times, whatever's been difficult. And this has been going on for more than the 9 months. This encompasses a number of years where you just like the lack that was in your life and the challenges that came up. It's time to, can't even talk, close the door on those challenges. Hallelujah. Yes. There's a more gentle patience that comes in. Now, while I'm not seeing it here, what I want to say is that a lot of these initial feelings that I'm speaking of, I think they occur in the first 10 days of the month. All right. You still have that Mercury thing going on up through the 6th, and then the 7th it changes signs. So, by the time you've arrived at what is Columbus Day in the USA and Thanksgiving in Canada, all right, so that's a Monday. What is happening? Because that's where your patience comes in. There's change. Like finally there's change because you're mourning what you closed the door on. But should you really be? Maybe in a sentimental way, but not in a, oh my God, I can't live without it way. It's totally different. Totally different. Because this change, this door closing, is toward your happiness. It's very karmic, and it's time for things to start moving. All right. The only thing that can really create an impasse to keep you from reaching your goals at this time is you not having the wisdom to shift your focus from the past to the present and the future. Keep that in mind. You may need to, sit down and contemplate, meditate, whatever it is that you do. That getting in touch with what do you really want. Now, I kind of feel that this what do you really want thing is also part of the relationship thing that I spoke about. Because the relationship that's being renewed, this is important, all right? There's emotional fulfillment there for you. And I think that deep down inside that you know. But there is, and I've been saying this so much lately, it's starting to get to me too, that need to go forward slowly. Like, don't rush in. Just because you manage to close a door doesn't mean you have to rush through the next one. So there could be someone you want to contact, and you're starting to see things differently. What troubles me here is that when I think of, some of the cancers that I know, if they have finally closed a door that was a long time in closing, is that hindsight 2020? Are you finally getting it and realizing that there was nothing keeping you from closing that door a long time ago, but you didn't do it? All right. Finally, looking at things differently. Oh my goodness. I'm like, it's long overdue. Long overdue. Now, for those of you who, that focus toward home, you may want to be doing, I want to use the word repairs, but not necessarily. Could be remodeling. A time for, looking for new things to spruce the place up. Now, if you're in Australia, it's spring. Wonderful time to be doing that. And the, what do you call it? The Northern Hemisphere, well, maybe not as much, but there's still projects. You may want to go around and do things that protect your home as winter comes. Okay, so these are all things that are happening, and it's a good month to be doing them. And as I said, your focus this year is definitely toward the home front. So as your clarity returns, because, once you get the Mercury stuff out of the way, it really is so much better. All right. Time to focus toward that home. But a really big focus toward security within the home. All right. This is tied in with the love aspect and everything else, where it's time for you to take care of every little detail, work on that to-do list. Sounds a little mundane, but it's not. Because I feel like after years of hardship, you finally find yourself in a position to solidify your position. Because you don't want to go through all of this ever again. So this is really important, to be honest with you. I want to say that if you keep at it until like, where are we at, October? I want to say maybe April, May. You're going to really feel that you've been rewarded for your efforts. This Jupiter in Libra this year really is a good thing for you. And I think it's going to help you tremendously. So be patient with that. Also, pay close attention to other things that are happening. All right? This is like, the universe does not revolve around you type of thing. Because while you are looking for certain new beginnings and you're trying to be patient to get them, there's information that you need to help you along the way. Truly, your hopes and dreams and your wishes coming true, to a certain extent, is in fact due to you being able to sever whatever that was where you needed to close the door. Okay, so this is a good thing. You're moving on, not just into a new chapter, but kind of like giving birth to a new phase. And I really like that a lot. It's time for a new vision. I think the old way just wasn't working. Oh boy, because some of you out there, I'm not saying all cancers, but kind of developed this other persona. All right, maybe multiple personas. Like, all right, I'll pretend to be so-and-so when I'm over here. And I'll pretend to be so-and-so when I'm over there. I can't get hurt that way because it's not the real me. So if someone hurts a fake me, oh well, I'll just go on over there and be done with them. Oh boy. It's time to like really just be truthful with yourself and face all those little fantasy lives and kind of like eliminate them. All right? This is important because it holds you back in some way. And I want to say that by the time you arrive at the solstice in June, you need to be in a certain position, if that makes sense, because it's kind of like waking up around the solstice in June and saying, welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. So big things are happening between now and then. That type of thing. All right. You are going to manifest opportunities that you need, which is good. Relationships, all kinds of relationships. Remember what I said. They are highlighted. But there seems to be one in particular, and I'm finding this a theme for more signs than just yours. But there seems to be a relationship in particular because in the beginning I talked about renewal. It's not just a renewal of your faith. It's like there needs to be renewal with an individual. And I'm not talking about backtracking to some old love life that didn't work out. All right, let's be very, very clear about that. It's not that at all. It could possibly be a love that never happened because you didn't allow yourself. Because I see you over here wearing all these many faces and running around trying to pretend that you're really not who you are and hide that emotion. That's interesting. It's very, very interesting. But this other person, while they've been, I want to say heartbroken that you're not a part of their life, they've learned to do just fine without you. Alrighty? Okay, so it's time. Time for things to be fair. Because this is a karmic relationship. And you have put yourself in a position for a very fresh start in your life. Boy, Cancer, I'm not even sure I know what this is all about. I mean, this isn't necessarily for all of you a love relationship. But for some of you who have denied yourself the love relationship that you need, it may very well be. Okay? But I don't see you doing it until you get to, like, June. So, boy, just try not to be deceiving yourself so much. You are your own worst enemy. See, that's the thing. It's like you get to here, and I'm telling you, you do that little crab scuttle. Why? Why? All right? You need some major shaking up. Something that just gets you going. You are one of the kindest, most generous individuals around. But those battles, that's me tapping the card on the table. They're more so with yourself and within yourself. And it just has to stop. So Cancer, get over your little self. Take the time to recover, but don't shut people out. That part of your persona needs to stop, because in the long run, it's really not protecting you from anything. It's keeping you from enjoying life to the fullest. So I want to thank you very much for being here this month, Cancer. Take care, and I'll see you again next month.